This is Primitive Outfitting, and you are listening to The Gritty Bowman.
Chicken. Wow, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
And I'm not standing on my high horse saying I shoot a self bow, because there's no way in hell I'm shooting a self bow. When I say that, I mean that in a good Christian way.
As far as Cecil goes with me, I mean, I could really give a crap about that lion too much.
And all I was looking at was the tip of Aaron's arrow. And it was like this and this, and then it was kind of shaking, and then it went boom, solid like a rock. And I'm like, oh.
He's like, I got to know if you hit anything or not. You never really show excitement, because I don't. I'm kind of always mellow. And this thing, ready to jerk a tear. I was running around like an idiot. Woo! You know, if you ever talk to anybody from Africa, they're all about hunting lions because they eat people. Yeah. The compound, I have total confidence. With this thing, I'm like, yeah, maybe. But the way that America works, we're so soft, like softer than baby. All of us, basically.
The shooting errors, I'm going to call it Matrix effect. I panicked.
I mean, I feel very awkward buying my firewood from 7-Eleven to have a romantic evening, but I do it.
You've done it?
I've had to do it.
We had that teepee glowing this year, that little stove.
Yeah.
Glowing. And then I did the stupid thing of, just
What'd you do, Trent?
Move my sleeping bag over a little bit. And it looked like you just gutted 4 ducks and they're just everywhere. And we're going for 45 days straight, hunting 5 different states, trying to kill a bull elk in each state.
That's
is
awesome.
Our goal.
So, Phelps, you have this new amp frame, which we use this year.
Yep. So when I set out to make a call, I wanted all users to be able to use one call. The old tube, had a small mouthpiece, so guys that like the lip ball put a lot in. So we opened it up, made it more comfortable.
Okay, folks, welcome to the Gritty Bowman podcast. We are at the Western Hunt Expo, and I'm joined by my co-host, Aaron Snyder, spectacular Aaron Snyder.
Represent.
We've got Phelps Game Calls in the booth today. We got Jason Phelps, and we've got a little bit of Born and Raised in here.
What would it be, a third?
No?
A third?
Half?
Is it a third of Born and Raised?
We have a 33.33%.
No.
More like, I think,
a quarter.
Really, it's really 90, right?
But
Don't you think?
95,
95?
somewhere in there.
It's 100. It's 100% of the face, though.
Yeah.
The face of Gritty.
Yeah.
Would you say we've got the manliest man
Manliest.
from Born and Raised in the booth today with Trent Fisher himself?
I've never cage fought him, I guess, so I don't know. But
seriously,
yeah.
if there was a brawl, okay, between
there's been brawls. There's been landing brawls. Oh,
Okay.
bad.
Okay. So who is the typical winner?
They've never
Never gone to the death.
Not with me. No, they haven't. That's the honest truth. They haven't. But
Ty seems like he could hold his own for a while.
He does for a while.
It seems like Ty's weakness would be getting winded.
Yeah, he has that kind of a structure. But
He got winded yesterday hugging me.
yeah, he can do that. Does he do the bear hug thing on you too? and
Behind me, he tried
pick
to
you up.
Well, he snuck up on me, wrapped his arm around me, and
He has a way of.
in the midst of it, I let him know, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to start fighting back.
Yes.
And he let go, and I'm like, oh, Ty, because
Hey,
I didn't want to
Ty.
be mean. But
Before you ripped his throat out.
Uh,
No, we don't. I don't know. We get in verbal fights. Ty and Cody actually have went to blows before, and it was real quick, but it wasn't,
nice.
on the landing.
So if there were like an arm wrestling championship,
we've never done it. I don't know.
I'm picking Trent.
I
I'm
am
gonna
too.
try.
I'm picking Trent. I mean,
cutting trees,
I
and
think
packing
it's
up and down
all day
mountains.
up
For some reason, I think
helps.
Steve might surprise us, but I really can't say.
We were on a landing and we got there late at night. We rolled in about
What's a landing?
1 o'clock in the morning. Well, it wasn't a landing. It was a parking spot behind right in front of a gate.
you want
And
me to
so,
explain what a landing is in the logging
please do.
term?
Yeah, please do. Anyways.
Cody runs the branding iron, right?
Yeah. And so this guy comes over, and Steve, he's not very big,
No.
And they'd been camping there and doing that trail, but we had a whole different trail that we cut in a whole different direction.
Yeah.
Well, they thought we were heading behind that gate. Those guys come over and what the F are you doing here and everything? And Steve starts ripping clothes, and he's like, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm like, there's 3 grown men right there, Steve. And, it was on. I was like, Steve got mad.
Steve gets passionate, it
Oh,
seems.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's fun.
He's a good dude.
You log full time now, right?
Yeah.
Who do you work for?
Myself.
Oh, gotcha.
Self-employed.
So you do skidder, or you
No, I just timber fall. Just cut trees.
contract out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many? Is it hard to find work these days?
No.
That's
I have
good.
more jobs right now than I could ever do.
That's
I get
good.
calls. Just a little bit ago, I got another call just now, just for another job.
Not to get off that subject of elk calling, but coming from Detroit, Oregon, right, and running a chainsaw at birth. My daughter, Dad, did you have a job when you were, 15? I'm like, Kaylee, I was falling trees and cutting firewood at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to the city and a tree falls down in someone's yard. And I'm like, anybody got a chainsaw?
Yeah.
And you might as well say, hey, anybody have a unicorn we can ride to the store? And I'm like, no, I'm not kidding.
No kidding?
I'll just cut it up. And like, we were going to hire someone. I'm like,
Yeah, needs a chainsaw.
you could just get a chainsaw.
It's not happening.
Yeah, and they're like, well, do you know how to run it? And I'm like, yeah, I know how to run a chainsaw. You don't. And they're like, no, we've never seen one.
Yeah.
Now, so it's weird now that I'm in the city more
I can't
compared
believe.
to the way I was raised.
Yeah. Well,
Me
it's the
too.
same as me. I come in yesterday, and they're like, let's get an Uber. And I'm like, Uber? This
that
is
some
like
kind of a
mythical-
wizard?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Unbelievable. You call it, and it comes to you. And they're like, dude, this is what you do. This is how you transport. I'm
right.
like, and we get in the guy's car, and I'm back in there snickering, like, I'm in an Uber.
What is your name, Gandalf?
I seen it on TV. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess it has both kind of a.
Yeah. I spent some time behind. I grew up out in the sticks where the trees are, and we build our prop. My parents built
There's some
houses
trees
out there.
have been falling on that land. You
Yeah.
can tell it's been thinned out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I built that tree house, and I didn't. For those who don't know, I built a tree house, and we lived in it for like 11 years. And it's a legit house. Like, I should have taken Aaron on the tour, but we didn't have time. But it's like 20 feet up in the air, and then there's a bridge from a bank that goes straight across. And anyway, when I built it, I didn't realize how much the wind would move the house.
For sure.
And there's this one, like, I don't know how tall, 150 foot.
It's a big one. That one that's hooked
Yeah,
up.
one
Yeah.
giant fir tree that's like the cornerstone of the home.
Sure.
And it would blow in the wind, and the whole house would just move, and the dishes shake, and stuff. And it was like being on a boat.
Waterbed.
And when it was really stormy, it was creepy. So one summer, I decided, okay, I'm just going to climb to the top and chop it off. But so
Have you done high climb?
Me? Yeah. I have my own arbor. I have my own tree business too. So
That's physically demanding.
I climb. It's hard. Dude. It's hard.
So I probably didn't do it right. But what I did
It's
was
hard with the spurs. Did you have spurs and everything? Or no, you didn't.
So
You didn't.
I knew how to rock climb. So,
Oh, boy.
So
You got some
basically,
chalk on. And,
what I did was I got some fishing line,
because that's strong.
and I tied a rock to it. Okay, and
Threw it
then
up over.
I threw it over the branch. Took just a half hour because it was really high. I don't have a very good arm, but I got it over the branch, and then I tied a big rope, climbing rope, to that, and hoisted it up. And then I used an ascender, and one for my foot, one for my waist on my climbing belt, and I ascended with the rope. And once I get up into the canopy, I just kind of climbed up to the top, limbs to the top. When I got to the top, the last 20 feet were like, it was like it's so skinny. You think a tree that big wouldn't be so thin up there. It scared the crap out of me. I'm like leaning off to the side. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down. And then what I did to fall the tree, because I didn't want to fall on the house, is I just chopped the top like 40 feet off, like 1 foot at a time.
Yeah.
Tossed
Took it down in sections.
That's how everybody does it.
That's how you're supposed to.
I
do
knew
it.
that. I mean,
Exactly what you knew.
it was rednecking all the way, dude.
Oh yeah.
It was a little scary, I admit, all the way at the top.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
It's funny. Brian, I worked on a trail crew team for the wilderness. You run crosscut saws and axes, right?
That's awesome.
You join the Army clearing airstrips, right? You do manual work, and you get everyone joins the Army and every intelligence level. And so there's chainsaws in the Army. You say anything, clearing landing strips.
Yeah.
But I was amazed, like you could see who was raised in the Upper Peninsula and the West Coast, because everyone in the middle had no freaking clue what they were doing. And I was like trying to explain how to sharpen a chainsaw, which is an art if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And most of them ended up coming back duller than they did on the way out. It's hard work, though.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's interesting. We're all from the Northwest.
Yeah. I live. I mean, you guys are logging capital of the world. I grew up same as Aaron. You know, it's like, what are we doing on the weekend? You go out and cut firewood.
Where did you grow up?
A small town of PL. Weyerhaeuser. PL.
PL.
Just the 2 letters. It's not spelled like that. We'll just keep it simple. But
that's the name of it.
PL.
Oh, okay.
Weyerhaeuser, one of the largest. We're all a bunch of Polacks out in PL.
Dirty dog.
I think the guy that founded it was like Pierre, and then they couldn't pronounce his name, so somehow it morphed into PL.
Yeah, but you grew up out there in the Northwest
out in the
too.
sticks. That was our weekend entertainment growing up.
We cut a lot of firewood.
My old man, he bought a whole extra lot in his backyard so he can decorate his whole yard with firewood.
There you go.
That's all it is.
It seemed like every weekend that's what we did was cut firewood.
Yeah.
We sold it. We
I
had
did
all
that
that land
forever.
out there.
Yeah, so that's what I did. Sold it, on the side. And
We only had wood.
I got a
heating,
house,
so.
and I said,
Yeah,
gas
too.
heat. Screw that.
I know, that's
I
so
want to
funny.
push a button.
I grew up with wood fire my whole life.
I love wood. I love wood heat. No,
Wood's-
don't get me
yeah.
wrong, but I hate cutting wood after I cut wood.
I think the day I went into the Army, my parents bought a pellet stove.
Oh, there you go.
Literally.
They're like, there goes our wood.
A wood splitter.
Cash
yeah.
cow.
And,
Stuff's too hard.
Well, I think, though, that you have that now. I mean, I feel very awkward buying my firewood from 7-Eleven to have a romantic evening, but I do it.
You've done it.
I've had to do it. Yeah.
You've pulled that trigger.
And, and it's weird coming from, it's like,
Yeah.
look how far you've fallen. Coming from making fun of people like me to pulling into 7-Eleven, grabbing a can of Copenhagen and a Monster, and can I have 2 cords of fire, 2 big bundles of firewood?
Bundles.
I'm
Bundles.
like, what bundles?
Loser.
Oh,
Walking
that's
in
rough.
like my man card is gone. I just bought firewood, and it doesn't. I'm looking at this wood, complaining to it, like to Amy, and I'm like, this isn't even good wood, and I'm listing it all off, and I'm like, this isn't like tamarack. Tamarack burns great. This is gonna burn like crap.
Not even going to burn.
Yeah, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't realize that this is the crappiest wood, and they sell it because it's crappy because you have to keep buying so much of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did
anyway.
it all go wrong?
Yeah. I don't have to have a real job, but I have to buy firewood at 7-Eleven.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's
man
rough.
card,
Never
man card revoked. I've been in a tent and stuff with Aaron with a stove. He burns it hot.
Oh, I like it warm.
Oh.
I like it warm in the
That's
teepee.
the one thing that I don't like about wood heat is the closer you get. It's like the sun. The closer you get to that particular object, the hotter it gets. And
We had that teepee glowing this year, that little stove.
Yeah.
Glowing. And then I did the stupid thing of, just
What'd
move
you
my
do? What'd you do, Trent?
Move my sleeping bag over a little bit. And it looked like you just gutted 4 ducks and there's everywhere. Feathers all over. I'm like, no.
Oh, did you have embers pop out the front?
Oh, the whole thing. It
Did
was
you have
bad.
duct tape?
That's all I did. I used that, that blister tape.
Yeah.
Cody had a
Yeah.
bunch of that. That stuff is really good. And I just,
Leuco tape.
Leuco tape, and I kind of pinched it together. And it's still that way, of course.
next
I
time-
haven't fixed it.
If you take Aqua Seal, just put it on your back.
Does it work?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You guaranteed.
I'm just curious. I mean, that super, super thin stuff, can you have it sewed ever?
You could put a patch on it, but honestly, take Aqua Seal, put it over the hole. Take it's called tenacity tape.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Put it right on, and it'll be done.
Never, you don't have to worry about it again. And believe me, as you can
Done it.
imagine, testing.
Oh, I can't
have,
imagine.
I've burned some holes and lots of gear. And the thing is I like the door open. It's like Ranger Television. But that just says, hey, Pop, everything I've got, put holes in anything. I mean, dude, I've been down there like watching it, and then boom, have an ember hit me and shake that off. I'm back in. I'm going to dodge it, slip the ember. But, yeah.
What I did love about that teepee, though, is the netting on the top where you can hang socks
Dry
and
it.
all
Yeah.
sorts of. It was so
Yeah.
nice in the snow, and when it just gets nasty, those couple days in September,
Yep.
it was so nice. Yeah.
So did you use Phelps calls this season?
Yes.
And how far back did you backpack in?
This year we didn't.
We got a selfie taker. We should wave.
We went. This year, we did a bunch of hunts this year as far as hiking in, not finding squat, and turning around and coming out. But usually we're in about 7 miles or so, something like that.
Okay.
probably 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Oh, I see where this is going.
We've been
already.
in it as far as 12.
What?
The large tube. I'm getting set up.
That's right.
We're working on a lighter weight tube.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where we're going? No,
It's a long way to hike a Phelps game call.
Yeah.
A Phelps tube.
But we've proven this year how multi-purpose they are.
Hey.
It's not just a tube.
Truthfully, and this is my honest deal, is I would rather carry one that sounds like a monster in the woods and makes the sound I want. And you just can't make a little tiny backpack tube make that sound.
Yeah, it's tough.
So
it is. I mean, and that's what I was just going to bring up. The reality of it to me, and you guys hunt. That sounds like a lot like you
Same
hunt public
kind of
land, and
Same thing.
you're not passing up too many bulls, right?
No,
'Cause there are not a lot of chances
no.
to shoot again.
No.
But
I've never passed up
yeah.
a bull, ever,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, for me, which he's seen where I hunt, there in some units when you're over the counter, I just need them to make a noise.
Yeah.
They're a little bit skittish. I don't need a monster bull because now you can make small bull calls with that big
Yeah,
tube.
Sure.
But why I've been bugging you to build a backpacking one is on my over the counter tags. I'm doing a lot more sneaking in, a lot more spot and stock just to get them to make a noise. They're not always as receptive to calling when they've been called to death. But then you go to where we were last year. We needed the big tube. I mean, there's
Throw
just
something at him.
big bull, and he can bugle like a. I mean, that one time though, he got in close and just cranked on that bugle, and that bull was like, "No,
I haven't done it.
no." And
Aaron was like, maybe
half.
like you don't know when you're calling a bull and you can't see it.
Yeah.
And so I decided I was tired.
We were
close. Frustrated. We got in close, and I'm like, I'm just going to challenge him with all I've got. Then I just gave it everything I had, and he was like, rounded up and left, like just gone.
when we killed mine, you were cranking on that thing like it was his job, loud. And that bull wasn't that big of a bull. It did have all the cows, but he screamed at it in its face from 20 yards away, and it closed the distance another 8 yards, which I needed because I had a recurve. And,
It needed to be close.
That was the most awesome deal. And with Phelps tube, it's it's long, and there's a log here, maybe this tall. You think, Aaron? Like,
oh yeah, every bit that tall. Yep.
Yeah. And so Aaron's kneeling down right here in front with the bow behind the log, and I'm behind Aaron. And the bull's like, there's a little brush between us, but as soon as it circles down, it's going to see us.
Gotcha.
And so I'm standing up, I'm bugling, and he starts coming. You can see his antlers. And I have to get lower, until I'm down on the, and then I'm like, and then I'm laying flat on my back, and I got the tube up here, and I'm like, that's not going to work. And I got it down here.
Yeah, it worked, though. It came, I mean, I shot it probably from here to Zach, maybe.
That's not
maybe
bad.
Here's Zach's table.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Which is about 12, 13 yards. Something
Yeah.
like that.
I had figured it would have come closer, but
was
I was
so
looking
close.
across the branches, and that opening, because it had the dead stick,
Yeah.
dead branches
Right,
sticking
right.
up, that was the window I had. After that, it would have been
Your lane. That was
shaky
your-
at best.
And I'm laying on my back so I don't get spotted by this thing, as it's coming. And it's coming in fast. Like, you can almost see it's, you could hear it snorting and just
Sure.
coming in. And when I lay down, I didn't have a view of the bull anymore except the tops of his antlers. And I'm like, this thing's getting close. And Aaron's at full draw, right? And when it's at full draw at first, I see the tip going like
Trying to
this.
find
Find a hole. Find a hole.
Like this a little bit. And then I see the tip kind of going in and out, and like, because it's a stick bow. right?
Yeah, that's the real thing.
You're not supposed
And
to-
then I see it just stop hard, like steady, and then sink back just a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's happening.
gonna go
It's going to go off. And I'm like, because I'm like 2 feet from the tip of the arrow, on my back.
How long are you supposed to hold? You're not supposed to hold those things at full draw for too long, right?
No,
You
but
were
we
at
had
3/4 draw, probably.
I was at 3/4
Oh,
draw. The
gotcha.
problem we had is, which you've hunted with, trying to draw it when they're that close. There's some movement
Yeah, so
involved,
you
and
gotta
I'm
cut-
strong enough that
Kind of
I
pre-draw
just
it.
hold the pre-draw. Yeah. But
Gotcha.
I said I don't know what we were supposed to talk about in this, but there was a few things that I know I wanted to talk about because we're all public land hunters.
I'd like to touch on that too.
One of the things I like best about Born and Raised is you guys are legit public land hunters. You don't BS. You're not paying for big landowner tags. And you guys, I know, have gotten criticism because it's come through me about, why don't they shoot bigger bulls? And you shot a giant bull.
Yeah.
But you missed a
Giant
5-point the day
Yeah,
before.
yeah. That 2012, the bull that made me popular is what you call him.
Yeah.
A week before that hunt, I literally.
We love you for you.
I was
not
going
for
to
the
say,
bull.
made you popular.
Well, made.
But no.
I said that made the calls popular. It's like the calls were the
Gotcha.
same. As you kill this big bull, all of a sudden the
Right.
calls are good.
Yeah, yeah.
But a week before that hunt, I called in around home. In my neck of the woods, I have 220-inch bulls are big.
Yeah.
Roosevelts.
Yeah, right.
I shot over 180-inch 4-point. Raghorn.
Yeah.
Small dink, and then fire closure sent us to public land. I was on private, which is industrial warehouser.
Yeah.
Sure.
Open to the public, and then was able to kill out big ones. So I've always said the only way I'm going to kill any more big ones is if it's the first one that comes in.
Yeah.
And it's rough.
And that's the kind of what born and raised all of us have done.
Yeah.
It's just the one that if it's because there's 5 of us,
Yeah.
and
That
if it's
ain't
your
easy
turn,
filling all those tags.
if it's your turn and you go, yeah, I don't know, I
You're
want one
back
a
in
little
the
bit
line.
bigger, you get in the friggin'
Yeah.
back.
That's right.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't go out, you don't get up to the front until everybody else is done.
That's just like my Idaho bull this year. 2 tags behind you, you're up first,
Yeah.
and it's like I can't. Even though he's only 235-inch 5-point, I got 2 guys that need to hunt. So you're just gonna pull the
Shoot.
trigger and
I'll tell you this though, like
break the ice.
when I hunt mule deer, like I've done this year a little bit, I kind of am hunting for the big mule deer. It's just what I want
There's
to
a
do.
difference. There's a difference.
But for elk, I'm just hunting for the call-in.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I want the experience of the call-in and the shot, and I'm not necessarily much of a trophy hunter, elk hunter,
Right.
but I would consider myself more on the mule deer,
Yeah.
blacktail. On the other species, black bear, I definitely want to shoot a bigger one, or I don't want to shoot at all.
I think it's pretty.
Go ahead.
And I think that's the hunting. I mean, I think deer are more plentiful too. I think you've seen little fork and horns all over the place, on mule deer. I mean, you're hunting for a mature. It's pretty rare you get a bull.
To get an elk to come in,
It's
it
not
takes
that often.
It's
really.
a magic moment.
Well, and
Yeah.
this year, Brian may draw. I'm going to try and honestly, everybody can complain. I'm going to try and buy a landowner tag to hunt with Brian. If not, I'm going to be Brian's calling buddy.
I can draw this unit,
Coveted tag.
And I can't.
and then he can't, but he can get a landowner tag, so we both get the same unit.
Sweet.
but
Makes
if
sense.
and
Trevor
this
did
is-
that last year with New Mexico.
This
Yeah.
is the difference, though. The moment we go from the unit he's hunting, which is you're probably gonna have a 330 plus
Average.
and it's up to him. But I'm 330 is a good bull in
And
there,
you're
but
gonna
not
be
great.
going like this. Don't shoot that.
And I would say we had 4 bulls over that.
Oh yeah,
He had one about to eat candy out of his hand. I guarantee was 370 that I had already screwed up on several other bulls. Anyway, but the moment, let's say I don't get that landowner tag, we go from there to public, do it yourself. We just went
Gotcha.
from
Well,
330
really,
to 3-legged calf.
Just to anything hair
and you should
goes.
clarify. Both are public, but one is over the counter.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
One's a heavily hunted draw unit.
Yeah,
but it's
gotcha.
a good unit. I
It's
mean,
a
they
great
give out a
unit.
lot of tags, but it is a draw unit, and I know
The
certain
area,
areas to go. Now,
Sure.
the
There's
other
bigger bulls there.
So is there
than-
going to be some holding out on that?
for him, yeah, I would.
I
Bet.
think so. I
You?
mean, we called in.
Yeah.
If he had
Hold up.
if he had a compound, he would have shot a bull the first day, second day, third day, fourth day.
Sure.
In over-the-counter units, I can usually. This is going to sound like
Go ahead.
bragging, but with physical, giving everything I got physically in time, I could kill a bull every other day. I could kill an elk every other day.
Right.
In that unit, you could kill a bull a day. I
Really?
mean, with your head out of your butt.
Right, right.
and everything's being equal, whatever. You could kill a bull a day in there. I think we could have.
That one bull that came into 16 yards
Yeah.
that you couldn't get a shot at with the cursed stick bow.
The cursed.
I would have
Um,
shot that thing 17 times, 20 minutes earlier. I
Right.
mean, it was walking in slow.
And we've got the GoPro footage of this bull just walking right into the call, just coming in on a string. Lots of opportunities like that throughout
Yeah.
the week, and it's a difference between 30 yards and 15 yards. I mean, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Right? There's a huge difference in getting it that much closer,
Yeah.
especially in Colorado, where it's. I mean, if you're hunting rosies, it's so thick,
Yeah.
or that they can often come into 15 yards.
Yeah.
But at 30 and
Had
open,
a lot of them at 7. You still can't shoot them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bits and pieces of them.
it's just the way it goes.
So, Phelps, you have this new amp frame, which we use this year.
Yep. Yeah, you guys had some
We got some for our
test
season.
calls.
Yep. Tell people about this new diaphragm call you've got.
I mean, so the plate, Primo's plate, Bigling Bull
Yeah.
pallet plate's been around for a long time. Domes have been around for a long time, And so when I set out to make a call, I wanted all users to be able to use one call. It seems like there's a huge crowd that hates pallet plates, loves pallet plates, hates a dome, loves a dome.
Yep.
And then, I've always built flat diaphragms, and I knew it was always kind of my sticking point. Like I was getting held up on these flat
when you
frames.
say flat diaphragm, it's because you don't have this little
there's nothing
dome on the top.
I can't use a flat one. My roof of my mouth's too high.
I can't use them either. I've tried. I keep trying, and it's just can't
and so,
seem to get the sound.
I've always used them and used them fairly well, but it was tough to. It's tough to sell a call if not everybody buys into it.
Right.
And so by designing this hybrid frame, we started actually way back in early 15. We had some patent things we had to let expire. Let the
oh, I got you.
Some stuff expire, and so we were already working on it, but we couldn't release it.
Yeah.
And we went through quite a few iterations and got to this thing. And we were able to design some things into it that I didn't design. It just turned out to work better. So everybody that's used this, all you guys that had tested it, I really didn't get any negative feedback. And I sent it to specific people I knew, hated a dome, hated a pallet, liked them, and everybody came back like the fit is comfortable.
Yep.
A guy like Aaron wants to be able to adjust the top. I put that into it. I made sure that we creased it, so it fits his mouth better. And so all the frames are the same. All we're going to do is basically build off of that, either different layers of latex, light latex, change our stretches, heavier latex. We're probably going to have one double in the mix. So we're kind of shooting for a total of 6 of these amp frames. The beauty that was designed into this that I'm going to take credit for, but I didn't do on purpose, is as this latex on all calls start to wear out, the call becomes unusable. You may still be able to cow call on it.
Correct.
But you may struggle getting a bugle out of it. The way this is designed, that frame cradles that latex and allows you to use a call that starts to wear out. As soon as my old flat frames would wear out, I can't hit a high note. I'm done. That call.
So you get more longevity out of the call.
It may not be as perfect as it once was, but if you're on a backcountry hunt, you're not going to have to toss this call because it's going to start looking wrinkly. It's going to start warping. It's just going to look like hell, on the.
And I'll go through one of the yellow, whatever they mellow yellows or whatever they are.
Yep.
I'll burn through those in a day.
So this is our lightest call, similar like the mellow yellows. Their lightest call. I've been bugling this for 5 days at the Portland show nonstop. And this thing's still hammering.
Yeah, you're honking on that thing because I was about to punch you.
So how does that? What do you mean it doesn't wear out as fast?
So as you push that latex up in it, we're now using the V-notch and the frame to basically support the latex that's left. So even if that gets really loose, you're still gonna, no matter what, you're gonna push it up against that frame.
You can only push it so far
and allow it and. Without getting too deep into the nerdy science portion of it, we've timed the location of that dome so it holds a perfect high note as long as I do my job stretching it right. So you can't, some guys may still overblow it, but the majority of people get to that point and it helps you just hold that high note.
Dude, let's hear it. Let's hear one.
Hey,
let's pull this to the side just a little bit.
That's not deafening us all.
Right there. Oh,
I'm getting horny.
That makes me horny.
Wow, that's a good bugle.
Bam, chicka,
No, that's not my primary bugle. And then, so that one's pretty high pitched. You can't hammer on it quite. This is the call I would use in the woods 90% of the time. It's just got a lot heavier latex on it than that.
Which one's that?
This is the gray one.
And do you cow call with that too or not?
Yeah. Well,
you do?
I'll show you both here. And so the gray, this is the call that I use. It's just your 004 natural latex, and it's kind of my go-to. The cow calls are going to be deeper.
Sounds good.
That sounds good.
So on that call, I'm able to put a lot more into it, a lot more pressure. So that's my go-to call. I probably wouldn't use the orange call to bugle a lot just because it is our lightest one, but it's probably the best call for people wanting to learn to cow call because it does make such light sounds.
So I have a question, just because with your calls, but not you guys. We've all killed elk. The estrus call, okay? One of my friends has talked crap slightly about you, not crap, but basically was like, you have the challenge bugle, okay? And then you have the estrus call. And there's not a lot, there's some debate of what's what or whatever, but Brian in the unit where we hunted this year, Brian was blowing, it sounded like a porn factory. Right? I mean, and this is early season.
Elk porn.
Seriously, it's no lie. Aaron's like, really?
And I don't complain when I hunt. Like if a guy's going to call for me, and I thought, well,
maybe it'll work.
Well, it worked every time. I mean,
It worked
bulls
good.
came
It
in.
worked
Oh,
good
it worked
then.
great. And
Yeah.
the thing was, is as the season goes on, whatever you want to call an estrus call, the estrus call works better.
Yeah.
Now you can say it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hyper mu or whatever, but I've even noticed like I go to a deeper diaphragm and add a lot more vibration to the end of it,
Yep.
which is a estrus
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
In my
Right.
in my opinion. Now, have you guys same thing? I mean, have you noticed that?
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
I'll go first.
This guy's a bugle machine.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm got to be good at something. Right?
Yeah.
So I when I'm elk hunting in September, I hardly ever do your normal your normal cow mew.
Hoochie mama.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a cow in heat because she's the one that needs attention.
Yeah.
A normal
Yeah.
cow call. Are we good there? We've got a lot of wax. So I'm 95%. Anytime I cow call, I'm doing an estrus whine, estrus buzz. Trying to sound like that sexy cow because she's the one that needs attention. Is that better?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
way better.
Everything keeps moving on me. So that's my go-to cow call is to always estrus whine. I'm fairly aggressive on my bugle, and I bugle a lot too. So I'll do like an estrus whine, kind of painting that picture. Here's a cow that needs tended to, and there's a bull challenging. And so we're super aggressive. I keep it really simple. I don't try to think, well, what do they want to hear right now? What do I need to say? It's pretty systematic. I'm gonna estrus whine. I'm gonna bugle and challenge that bull.
And we're the same way. I mean, as far as you can call it an extra strine. You can call it whatever you want, right? I mean, but at the same time, it's what that bull responds to.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the whole name of the game. And I don't know if it's a time of year, but it's just like you do something and then see his reaction or hear his reaction, and then you do something different and then he reacts different, and then build on that. And it's just that's what's so much fun about calling. We're real aggressive, just like Chase. I think all you guys are. I think real
I'm
aggressive.
probably too aggressive.
That bull, that bull that we shot, that Aaron shot this year with his recurve, we had spooked the elk. We got a little close. They didn't smell us, but they saw something fishy and they kind of scattered a little bit.
We split them.
Split their.
We did not mean to split them, but
So
they
some
split.
cows
So
ran this way, and the bull ran that way.
No,
He
it
was
worked out great.
80, 90 yards or something over here.
Yeah.
And when we were in between them, it was like, okay, I mean, all is not lost.
Yeah.
Once we realized there were some cows here, and he was kind
good
of
thing.
waiting for them to come back.
We walked into a cow, and at that point, I don't know if I told you or you just did it, but the cow was 20 yards from us bedded. And I think I looked over. You didn't know the cow was there. Or I said, there's a cow. And the first thing I bugle. Or you just bugled.
What
I
happened,
can't remember, but he ran right to us.
we did some cow calls and stuff, so they all froze like, what, huh? And so we started just cow calling a little bit, and the bull was bugling.
Yeah. Oh,
And
the whole
so-
time. Yep.
So I was like, and so I bugled a little because Aaron said bugle,
Sure.
so we bugled, but I didn't like go after him.
Right.
And then we snuck closer, and then Aaron's like, what do we got to lose? Just lay your biggest, meanest
Rip
growl.
that sucker.
So it went from like just a locator kind of bugle that I was doing before to like, no, she's mine.
Yeah.
And he instantly came charging in.
Yeah.
And before that, he was just, I'm here, you're here, I'm here, you're
He was
here.
raking a tree. There's a cow by him down there. I mean,
And
normal stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a little, right, you're kind of feeling out the bull, what's working, what's not. And as soon as you realize that worked, it just laid it on him a few times, and he was in a rage.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's not a recipe book. It's not everything works.
No.
You follow this and it works every time.
That's why we do it.
That's why I really have there's such a thirst for knowledge, but then some of these guys that write these playbooks or have a system, I'm like, I don't know all. I mean, everything will work, but I did it enough to know that there's not a perfect system every time, because I'm the dumbass that goes out there and does the same thing every time. I'm an estrus whine, I'm going to challenge bugle, and I'm going to tell you, even though that's my system, it doesn't work every time.
Well, there's a couple times in one of the spots, actually, Brian and I will hunt this year if he doesn't get that tag. One of the most textbook of, where name it off, the playbook, the whatever, where you get within, you close the distance, you get inside the doorway in their space, and they have cows, and then you bugle.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it did?
Yeah,
it took all its cows and ran off. It's
Goodbye.
like, I'm not fighting
Exactly
today,
what it
not
is.
today. Where any other time, I was within 60 yards, and I cranked on that bugle. And then there's other times where, I've done that, and it works great. For me, I think the area you're hunting, the bull to cow ratio, time of the year, there's way more. And I mean,
pressure.
You take Corey Jacobson.
Sure.
He runs around bugles all day.
All day.
Obviously, it works for him. He's waiting, I'm assuming, for that one bull to reply back the way he needs it to.
Yep.
And it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what we relate it to. We relate it to like fishing.
Yeah.
I'm going through the holes. I'm looking for a biter. I'm not going to sit in one hole and be, I'm talking about drift boat fishing or something.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to sit there and just pound that hole thinking, well, there's going to be a fish. I'm going through the holes as fast as I can looking for the ones that want to bite. And that's the same thing when we do with elk.
kinda
We're
when
looking for a biter. We'll pass like Roosevelt hunting. It's so brushy. We'll just mountain bike for miles and stop every 100 yards and bugle off of each sides of the road, and all we're doing is looking for that one biter.
That's hot.
We may,
That's kind of in it.
Yeah, we may have passed, who knows, 5 bulls on the way to get one.
Yeah.
But that's kind of same Corey Jacobs. I think he kind of hunts the same same type of way.
Well, and in Colorado, which he and I haven't hunted up high yet, but I'm more physical, right?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
bugling as much, but I'm going to the honey holes, right? I'm
more
probably,
open ground.
What, 12,000 feet?
No, I mean, is it more open?
I'm going to each valley. I'm going to each basin.
And
Go ahead.
one thing I'll say about Aaron
Yeah.
is he has he's a really skilled archer. Like
Right.
he can shoot better than 9 out of 10 guys.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So when you're deadly at 80 yards, you're going to change your hunting style a little bit.
Oh, it opens it way open. Way open.
Or it changes a lot when you go from shooting 90 to 9.
with a recurve. Yeah.
Up
Different
high,
story.
like, we basically are just looking for a bull to fire
To
off.
crack
Right?
off.
You can be the worst
Get started.
bugler in
Yeah.
the world. We just want to know you're there.
Locate.
Yeah, and then we're going to kill you but we're also relying heavily physical ability. We're going to spots that no one else can, and then our eyes.
Glassing, yeah.
And so, really, for me, up high like that, a lot of times, once we get in close, once we know bugle, we won't call until we think within 100
Exactly.
or 50, and we won't bugle aggressively initially, because if we just crank off with some loud bugle, that bull's like, man, I have my home and no one's bugged me, and he'll just, run, get those bulls or get those cows out of
Get
there.
'em out.
And I think what happens, talking about people reading the book, depending upon how pressured those elk are, you could have hiked 5 miles, dropped into a canyon to that one bull, done the book thing, and that guy didn't read that book that day, and that bull took off. So you definitely have to play with what the elk's doing as much as. And I'm no world champion caller, but
Well, I talked to Abe Moline.
Yep.
You've heard of him before.
Yeah.
He's
He
a
designed
cool
a
guy.
bugle.
Talk
Great
to
guy.
I still talk to him quite a bit.
Yeah, I talked to him, not a lot, but quite a bit. Anyway, and he greatest storyteller ever. But he's always said, you don't know what happened last night. You don't have a clue what happened last night. And it's like, that's true. You don't. I mean, he could have got his ass kicked last night, and he doesn't want to play. You don't ever know. And it's true.
not to bring up the bull I killed this year, but it was strange with the recurve, but he hadn't had his ass kicked in his life, because the first time we saw him, I'm like, that's not the herd bull. And he had a lot of cows, a lot. And was it 7 days later we killed him?
Yeah.
Still had all the cows and gained even more. And he was a 5 point. He was at, 3.5-year-old 5
He was
point?
pissed, but he was
mad.
not a big bull.
But he had not had his ass kicked. Or he wouldn't. And the thing is we ran into another bull way bigger than that bull.
Yeah.
That had 3 cows.
Yep.
3 cows. So
It's hard to figure him out, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
And
no
he killed the
no rhyme or
16-year-old
reason.
that went to private school all the time.
Well, I was just going to say,
Just got in the real world.
One of my friends in the booth down there, I make fun of all the time that I want to conk in the noggin. He is that 5 point. He has not had his head conked yet, so he is very boisterous. He is very,
gosh.
And so that bull, he came into a bugle of a 390, plus bull.
Yeah.
It baffled us how he was able to retain those cows. So either he herded them, kept them away, was smart, or he just intimidated some other bulls, or I don't know.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of cows. I mean, how many came in when you filmed him? 12?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I
And
think
that's
he had-
quite a few for Rockies.
High
I
country.
mean, he had
Yeah.
16, 18
Six-
when we killed him.
Yeah.
Damn. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And they had all kind of herded up at that point. So Jason, this tube right here is different than the one we use this year.
It is. So our tubes in the past, just like a lot of other companies, were a modified wiffle ball bat. We'd order
Yeah.
a fat bat, cut them off, and it's kind of a blessing in disguise. Last January, I called to order 1,000 more tubes, and the manufacturer's like, "We're done making them." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome for
Dang it.
to be an elk call
Yeah.
guy and not be able to get a call in July." So we basically had to take them off, and I had to basically start right then design. I had the design all done. I've got hundreds of Frankenstein tubes in the garage. Went out, and took all the measurements off, and we redesigned that thing. So the first thing that the old tube, had a small mouthpiece. So guys that like the lip ball put a lot in. So we opened it up, made it more comfortable.
That is much better.
Machined it. So this is a solid one-piece tube. I left the wiffle ball. There's still remnants of the wiffle ball back.
Yeah.
We left the handles. Some guys like to hold on. And another thing, without getting too nerdy, is you want this portion of the tube to be as stiff as possible.
The neck.
So there's no, you don't lose any resonance or.
Yep.
The next thing that the most noticeable about this is how thick this tube is.
Yeah.
You cannot barely squeeze the thing. So we designed it to be really thick. We didn't want to have to add any bands or anything on afterwards. Next thing we did, it's got the large bell. We made a flat end, and then we overcupped the end. What that does is allow back pressure as you're blowing the call. Instead, if we were to cut this thing off and have a wide open, you have to basically provide enough air to keep up with that thing. Whereas with these cups now, you kind of get a little resistance. It kind of, once you fill this thing up, you kind of get the tube to push back.
Exactly.
That does two things. It allows you to control the reed better, hold the high note better, and then
bugle longer.
Yeah, and as the reed wears out, it kind of adding back pressure. You don't have to blow so hard across that thing. We almost made a really big mistake, though, in designing this thing so thick. If you've ever blown through like a 4-inch piece of PVC pipe, the thing's just rock solid. You can't get any of that rich tone, the resonance. So I came back in right at the end, and we corrugated this thing and dropped the thickness down in these two areas to kind of get us a little bit of that resonance back. So it's actually inside corrugated, and it drops it drops some of its surface area through the center. The last thing that a lot of guys have been adding on their own little vacuum hose to my old tubes because they want to be able to call with it, behind their back and sit my hands free. A lot of times the bowls I call in, I try to put my tube between my knees
over here, and I bring it up,
and you're all awkward. So we added shock cord to this thing,
which is super cool. That's the first thing I noticed.
So you can put this thing on your back, turn around, call, and then flip it back around. So even though
we have had guys ask us to make Nalgene bottle, but Phelps bugle tube pockets to hold your tube.
We need to work on
which
something.
I slide in the thing, and I feel like I'm like a Viking warrior when I pull it out.
I think with
That's right.
I think with the Powell's webbing, I could easily put like a shock cord here and like a 3-bar slider, and we probably could figure out a way to easily attach it
We've
along
been
the side.
screwing around with the idea of how we could basically do it to where it would be still functional, where it would work. Because the thing is that, like for me, I ran of yours a modified Phelps tube for 2 or 3 years, and then last year we used a bigger one. But the thing is, when you need that tube, there's nothing else.
You can't replace it.
Nope, nothing replaces it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've hunted the same area in Idaho for the last 4 years. We've used the wiffle ball bats, and we hunt the same ridges every year pretty much, hunt the same areas. And I always thought, that, there's not going to be a huge volume difference by going with the thicker walls. And I really didn't notice it at home until I get up out in the woods and you're bugling down in these big, 2,500-foot deep canyons.
Yeah.
And you felt like you were getting responses in places that I would never get a response before. So it is a loud tube. It's probably 25 to 30% louder than our old tube. But like you had alluded to earlier, you don't have to call that big in it all the time. You just can tone it back.
Well, it's the big fish, small fish, big hook, little hook thing.
Yeah.
You can call in small bulls with a big tube.
Yeah.
It is harder to call in big bulls with a little tube.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that big loud resonation and tone.
Yeah. And there's nothing. The only downside to this tube, if I could get this kind of sound out of a tube that's kind of that. That's the big dilemma.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah, we've got some great ideas.
It's kind of like a camera.
Without,
oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, without giving out too much information, we want this thing, when it's packing, to be about this big. And so we've got some pretty cool ideas to make that happen. So chase that rabbit down its hole. We're kind of already started. And
you're talking about doing some external stuff too, right?
Yeah, that's our next.
Mouthpiece.
Everybody's like, well, where do you go next? Now you got a better diaphragm and a new tube. I don't know how many guys can't run a diaphragm, so I want to run an external mouthpiece that'll just plug right into this new tube.
Yep.
And I see with me, I can bugle with the diaphragm. As weird as it is, I bugle better with some of the external
reed. Yeah, a lot of times you get more volume out of them, especially for locating and stuff.
I can tell you what it is too. Is I chew and that eats away latex.
Does it?
Yeah.
Bad.
Really?
Oh,
bad.
Yeah. Yep. I'll burn through. I'm sure that's why. But I went through like 8 diaphragms in a 7-day period. I burned through them, and because the roof of my mouth is so high, and it could be I don't know how to call, but the roof of my mouth is so high.
Right.
I have to put a pretty good amount of pressure on that latex to get the right tone that I want. So having said that, it is a pain. The roof of my mouth, I would have to guess, is double the height of most people.
Normal.
It's huge.
Yeah. So that's kind of our next project: a smaller tube, and then an external bugle, a bugle mouthpiece.
Now, what do you get? You guys got a hunting extravaganza across the United States going on this year, right?
Yeah. We're going to do a huge project this year. It's going to be, we're going to start in the 26th of August, and we're going for 45 days straight, hunting 5 different states, trying to kill a bull elk in each state.
That's
is
awesome.
Our goal. So, it's going to be awesome. We're meeting up with Phelps. We're going to hunt Montana together, and the Hushin crew. We're going to hunt a couple states with the Hushin crew where they're going to come to Oregon. Everybody wants to kill a Roosevelt for some reason. And I'm like, well, we can
Bucket
try.
list, man.
We can try. And so anyway, so they're going to come there, and then we're going to meet them in Idaho too, and meet up with Corey Jacobson, Elk 101 in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And so, just a big collaboration in that sense, and it's just going to be awesome. We're going to take a trailer. We're going to outfit a whole trailer and weld the whole front of it like backwoods, stuff, and have a whole meat room in the front of this trailer, and then cut our game up because we have grinders and everything. All that we always cut our own meat up, and so we're going to do that as we're going on the road.
That's one thing about elk is there's a lot of meat.
Lots.
And it's good meat.
Lots.
Like when I say I kind of trophy hunt other species, one of the big reasons I don't with elk is because my trophy is the meat. And so it doesn't matter. It's such a big part of why I hunt elk.
Yeah.
Another reason is why you kill what comes in.
Yeah.
I was just say. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I went to New Mexico this year, and it was my second bull of the year.
Yeah.
And there were some logistics, and I donated over half of my elk to a local tribe, and it was hard. I didn't think I was like this. I'm like
the strangest thing.
That'd be tough.
My girlfriend, she did not eat red meat. 3 months ago when we
really,
and she used to. She doesn't. I'm like, do you not eat red meat or do you not eat beef? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you need to try some elk.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to run out of it.
No
Every
kidding,
night
good.
she's cooking something with red meat jerky. I have a pile of jerky,
Yep.
but
that's
so
awesome.
good.
it is easier for me to shoot I'll shoot anything, but it's easier for me to shoot a 5-point bull than it is like a 145-inch mule deer.
Yeah.
Because the bull, you're yielding 180, 200 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
Mule deer, you're getting 60, right?
Yeah.
So, you might as well shoot a bigger one where with an elk, you're getting a lot of meat either way.
Either way.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I know Aaron probably has to go pee because it's been about that time.
I know. I need to
lie. Tell me you're not.
I don't
holding
have to. I've been slowing
small
down
bladder?
on the water. No, I just drink too much water, which is been a problem. I got to pee every 45 minutes, but I've cut down for podcast days. I left.
It's just like hunting in a tree stand.
Yeah.
I fast a lot.
So
Because
we're on this thing with Nick, the trainer dude.
Yep.
Great guy. And anyway, and he wants us to drink 1.5 gallons a day.
Oh yeah, I drink every bit of that. If
Oh,
not
yeah.
more.
You drink more than that?
I probably drink a gallon.
I was
little
just
over a
saying,
gallon.
you drink probably over a gallon. I drink 4 of these a day. These are 64 ounces.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
And the thing is that you will notice you feel a lot better.
I've already noticed. We're about
Yeah.
3 weeks into it, and we're counting all our macros. We're hitting 220 grams of protein
I
a
have
day,
to have
all this
a lot of salt to go with it.
Yeah.
Some people don't, but you can feel it. Like if you're drinking a gallon and you're not retaining any of it,
yeah.
you know, like
And I say I drink water. Very rarely do I drink. Maybe one of these is water a day.
What do you
I have
mix it with?
electrolyte mix in it. I either have Enduro, a raspberry lemonade electrolyte mix. There's always
So you got to have flavor. You like flavor.
I don't have to.
it's
but
just if you drink straight up water, it'll be pee.
Flushes,
well,
yeah.
and you can get, not that this would happen, you're not going to get water on the brain. You can flush all the electrolytes out of your brain and you can freaking die.
Right.
Well, as much as we train at some points, especially the summer coming up in the spring, you don't want to just be flushing all your electrolytes out.
Gotcha.
So I'm constantly, with drinking that much
Putting
water, putting electrolytes back in my system.
Gotcha. And this is all stuff that he's teaching. I've cut timber all my life. I just drink water and, do the whole, just go, whatever.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to
How
learn how
old-
my body works.
How old are you, Trent?
36.
Hey, you're right at that age where you just can't
The old
do what you
machine's going
used
to
to.
slow
I was
way
going
down.
to say it's going to start to matter soon.
Right. That's right.
The more injuries I've had, though, the more I notice it does matter with broken bones. I've had a lot of that too. So
Yeah.
lots of that. But anyway, it's neat that he's teaching us this kind of stuff, and we're going to do that run Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, 5K.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that.
I'm going to be
Nick's-
sick that day.
You were sick for everything that's important.
Oh, he's doing his mountain hike though.
Yeah, we're doing the hike.
yeah, I
tomorrow.
heard that's going to be legit.
Be interesting. See
Well,
how
I didn't
that
know they had
goes.
a cap at 100 because they came over and told me. They said, "So you're capped out," and I'm like, "But there was a cap? How many? What was the
Really?
cap?"
You've
Yeah.
got 100 people then.
I think they sold 100 like in the first few hours.
That's awesome.
yeah, or not sold. Like,
Right,
they signed
right,
up. We
right.
didn't want
Signed
to
them.
charge anybody.
Yeah, they have a certain number of everyone who comes gets
I
a
can,
trophy.
I can tell you, I didn't.
Participation
But
trophy.
not in 5K.
Yeah,
Not in the Cameron Haynes 5K. You got to win or you lose.
that's how
you're
Cameron
not
is.
first
and
or
I'm
last.
different.
There's a
For me,
good chance that I'm not going to get the trophy.
Participation trophies for everyone.
Yeah,
I tell you what.
I'll take a yellow ribbon.
I did not bring enough participation trophies. I didn't think we'd have 100 guys, so there's going to be some IOUs for T-shirts and hats coming from Cafaro. I figured we'd have 30, 40 guys come up.
That's going to look good.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's just an IOU.
Would you like a sticker?
Have you started screening the names yet to see if there's anybody that's going to give you a challenge tomorrow?
No, and I mean, honestly, as far as on physical fitness, there's guys that can beat me at, and then Brian can chime in, there's guys that can beat me with 40 pounds at a mile and 1,200 feet in
Yeah.
elevation. Oh, I can hold my own.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a race? Is it going to be a race?
No.
Oh,
It's not going to be
No,
like
I just give him.
Oh, I got you.
But because people have already asked this,
Things already.
where I'm going to excel is with 80 over 14 days, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
climb. Fred Baum is well, you've trained with him now.
Yeah.
With 40 pounds, he's a monster. He's
Is
hard
he?
to keep up with. I mean, I stay very good physical level for multiple days, and I can climb fast with heavy weight, really, really fast. I got a long stride for my height. But I think we're going to have a fat kid group, which hopefully Jason's going to go, but Ryan Avery's going to run. And,
I got.
Dwayne is going to go.
yeah, Dwayne's going to go. I think we're going to have 2 rabbit groups and then a couple shorter for your, vertically challenged, short for your weight group.
There will be some gritty
Short
tips
for your weight.
to help you get through that event, I'm sure.
Which you've learned, I'm overly blunt. So if a guy comes up like, dude, your hat looks stupid with it wearing it backwards, I'm like, yeah, I wear it backwards. You're right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
with Avery, I'm like, well, he's running the fat kid group. He's fat. He's going to run that group. So Avery's
The truth hurts.
a diesel.
Oh, it's not fun to take. Yeah, we walked into Nick Trainer dudes. He said, I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. And we're like, yeah, man, yeah. And he goes, you're all obese. Thanks, Nick. He goes, no, I'm serious. He goes, do you want to hunt when you're 75? I'm like, maybe from the road. And he's like, well, you're not going to be able to at this shape. Thanks, buddy.
He's just shooting
He is.
straight.
Oh, man, he punched it right in the face.
You just tell him you're just short for your weight.
I said, damn.
You're not obese.
Yeah,
That's
I said,
nice.
Let's go to work one of these days.
Oh,
He
that's
says,
funny.
"No."
Well, I don't think Avery's the same way.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you take Nick the trainer to guaranteed running a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Because I've run one.
Yeah.
Not the same
It's a different
muscles
story.
for a week from running that thing because you're just not used to that grip strength running it.
I'm
You're
going to
not
pretend
good at
like
that, Katie.
we don't know what that means
No.
on the Gritty Bowman
I
podcast.
screwed that up, didn't I?
So where can we get a Phelps game call?
They'll be on our website, www.phelpsgamecalls.com. We also have Black Ovis as our other online dealer currently.
All right.
And then we also have a dealer locators, that'll be on our new website that'll be able to, let you know where they're all at.
What is your pallet plate that you recommend the most? The amp.
So the amp frame that I recommend the most is the gray.
Okay.
It's an 004. It's right down the middle.
What's its name? The Gray?
This is how original I am. So everybody always asks.
I like the Dragon
You
Slayer.
could call it
Yeah.
the Liam Neeson because he was in that movie, The Gray.
So everybody asks, I want that blue call with the green latex. I'm like, and then you got to sit and think of dumb names. So these are going to be amp orange, amp gray. It's easy, and it's original, and nobody will forget.
Identifiable.
I think we need an amp gritty.
Wow. Gritty amp.
Your guys' logo. You guys figure out which one's your
It's gonna
favorite.
be a
and
rainbow
we'll get a logo
color.
on
We can
there?
put your logo right
Yes.
on there. We can print that sucker on
That'd
there.
be good.
Unicorn color.
Yeah,
So
it could
no-
be red, white, and blue.
Amp gray is my go-to. It's kind of in the middle. It's
Okay.
not. There's not a ton of resistance, but it's not so light that you can't do the big bugles with. So
Sweet. Maybe you could get that in subalpine pattern.
we'll work on that.
I have trouble. So I have like situational awareness all the time, right? And I'm listening. People don't think I am, but I am. But he is trying to
Ty
abuse
Stubblefield.
Ty Stubblefield. He's doing naughty things over here, and I have
Horrible
to
things.
try and shut my situational
things.
awareness down. I don't want to look in that direction.
If
I'm
you could
gonna
have just
block
seen what
him
he
out.
just produced with that mannequin over there. It was bad.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen Ty's nipples while doing the podcast.
Oh, I
Seeing
bet.
Ty's nipples are nothing.
Lately,
He's got red hair around him.
He just pulls up the shirt and
you know what's really
Oh.
uncomfortable? Lately, it's been I've never seen a guy take their shower or their cell phone in the shower as much as he does.
Oh,
You
that
know
can't be
why?
good.
it's just wrong. Where is this going down the drain?
No, we were just saying how uncomfortable he was, and he just violated the mannequin. There, yeah, there he is. There he is. But yeah,
man.
we've been getting like a selfie every other day out of the shower. It's been pretty amazing.
Nice.
Oh yeah. You should hunt with him.
Well,
You should
Make
hunt
sure
I
to
am-
join BHA.
I am
Yep.
indeed grateful you guys were on the show today.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you
having
so
us.
much.
Thank you.
Check out Phelps Game Calls, Born and Raised Outdoors. And if you don't like Kufaro, you suck.
Yeah, that too.
No, how did he say it? Then screw you.
It's off of that movie. If you don't like Miss Wong's prune candy, then screw you or something like that.
Awesome.
All right, guys, stay
Thanks.
gritty.
Yeah,
all right.
thanks. Stay gritty.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Friends, hunters, outdoorsmen, lend me your ears. Please take this moment to listen to this excerpt from the Gritty Bowman film, Back to Traditions. Despite our ever-changing, ever-indignant world with its growing ignorance of and indifference to the ways of the wild, I remain a predator, pitying those who revel in artificiality and synthetic success while regarding me and my kind as relics of a time and place no longer valued or understood. I stalk a real world of dark wood and tall grass stirred by a restless wind blowing across sunlit water and beneath star-strewn sky. And on those occasions when I choose to kill, to claim some small part of nature's bounty for my own, I do so by choice, quickly, with the learned efficiency of a skilled hunter. Further, in my heart and mind, I know the truth and make no apologies for my actions or my place in time. Others around me may opt to eat only plants, nuts, and fruits. Still others may employ faceless strangers to procure their meats, their leather, their feathers, and all those niceties and necessities of life. Such is their right, of course, and I wish them well. All I ask in return is no one begrudge me, and all of us who may answer the primordial stirrings within our hunter souls, my right to do some of these things myself. What you just heard is a quote from M.R. James. We truly live in a world that is largely ignorant and indifferent to the ways of the wild. And although some regard us as relics of a time and place no longer valued or understood, we have the opportunity to change the way these people view the hunter and the hunt. We can share our experiences and nature's bounty with those who employ these faceless strangers. And by so doing, we make a difference, not just for ourselves, but for the wild animals in the wild places we care so deeply about. Never stop sharing your passion for hunting and the outdoors. Our wild animals and our wild places depend on it. We want to thank Kifaru, Mountain Ops, Hoyt, Vortex, Phelps, Black Eagle Arrows, and Crispy Boots for supporting the Gritty Bowman. We love these companies and the people behind them. They truly make fantastic products. Please support them whenever you can. And as always, good luck on your hunts and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowman.
Gritty Bowman.